good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Whenever you're watching this, I just hope you're having a great day. And we're here to have a lovely little Sunday chat over a cup of tea, just hanging out with the shop dog on a beautiful day. Yeah, just preparing for the week ahead. I love Sundays for their almost like introspective time. You know, it's a lovely time to be able to just kind of slow down for a second, take stock, take a moment of inventory, both external and internal. Hey, how we doing, chat? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Oh, here they come. Yay, we're back. Happy Sunday, everybody. We're doing the regular old thing, And if you're watching the live recording of this, there's the live chat. So if you want to see what these lovely people are live here saying, it's in there somewhere. Hi, and Ghost Girl, are you gonna make it to the Unpredicted Party at NOCO CON? All right, so I don't know if all of you know this, but I'm gonna be at NOCO CON June 8th and 9th, where I'll be performing live the Unpredicted Party as Beery the Dwarf. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Wait, what are you making out of steel? Let me see. Making sparklers out of steel today. Ooh, Hunter, you doing some forge welding? Oh, Ghost Girl, I'm so excited to meet you. I can't believe it. I can't believe people are traveling to see me make a fool out of myself. I feel so honored. I'm also trying to talk you out of it. What are you doing? You don't want to see me. What? Afternoon, everyone. Can't stay long. Hey, I'm just glad you made it for as long as you can. Happy to be here. I'm just happy that you're here too. What do you guys want to talk about today? It could be anything. All right. I'm not supposed to show you this. No, actually, I can't show you. I can't show you. I gladly see you. Oh, Paul, that's very kind of you to say. Speaking of forge stuff, ooh, how would you deal with a burner flare getting red hot? Ooh, that's a good question. So the burner flare is probably maybe on the situation, but your burner flare, like the bell end of it, might be pushing a little bit too far into the forge itself. Where it should almost be it might just need to be back a little bit further. And honestly, if it's red hot and it doesn't progress much further than that, that's okay. It might have to replace after a decade or so of mill scale building up and then falling apart and then building up and falling apart. And it'll end up turning into pretty much just carbon flakes. But that's okay. That's okay. It's welded to the top. Interesting. That's very interesting. So it sounds like the inside of your forge might not be perfectly as efficient as it could be, which is absolutely okay. As long as it's getting steel hot. And here's the thing: I'm not very precious about my tools. Hey, I love you always. Okay, they're all listening right now, so I gotta make sure okay, we're okay. I love you all, but I'm not super precious with them. If it is running a little bit incorrectly and it breaks, that's just an opportunity to learn something and see what broke on it and then rebuild it better for next time. Because if something breaks or structurally fails, you at least learn something. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as failure in my mind or wasted time. It's if something breaks, at least you know why, or at least discover why. It's an opportunity to learn something. It's good stuff. So I would say run it until it fails. Just let it go. It's okay. Because I know you can fix it better next time. Custom cutlery. We don't fail, we succeed finding our what is wrong. Yes. I talk to my tools all the time. Yeah. They're listening. Yeah, Beery and I, we're very similar. As long as it's not a vehicle. Paul, you bring up a very good point. If something's wrong the harder you run it, the worse it'll be. Thank you. That's a good caveat. Oh, look at it. as I look at a bucket of bad axe heads. I mean, yeah, yeah. You never know. You might turn them in all into a sculpture or something down the road. You know what I mean? It's good. It's good to learn. It's good to just do. Just to do things, to experiment, to learn. Because this right here, that's the gold nugget right there, is your mind and your memories and all of the knowledge that you accumulate through your life. Every moment of the dwarf roll. Ray, you like Beery? Oh, that makes me happy. I love playing Beery. I made it kind of easy on myself, and I made it very close to home. He's a lot of fun to play. And also, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking Beery, the character that I play from the Unpredicted Party. Don Marshall's game he runs, I play online with a bunch of other silly people. It's the best. On the wrong side of the pond. How am I doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Just wrapped up tea time with the patrons. If you ever want to join that, that's in my link tree. We have tea every Sunday morning. We talk. We celebrate each other's accomplishments. It's great. It's a great time. We just got done laughing hysterically. I damn near lost my voice talking to them. It was good. It was a good tea time. Ooh, a glaive handle. Never made a glaive. A glaive would be a great weapon because of just all the range and utility you can have on it. Especially like a halberd. I always thought a halberd would be like such a good weapon because you can hook a shield, you can push with it, you can do all sorts of stuff. I think a halberd would honestly be, I don't know, it's like a tool. Was a glaive? Ooh, I think you might be able to explain it better than I could, but as far as I know, it's pretty much a long-handled kind of sword, sort of axe head on the end of a long handle, almost like a spear, but you kind of can chop with it. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. We're just talking about all sorts of stuff right now. Ooh, what's this? Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the live chat here. Okay. I want to make a kitchen party for cutting pizza. Yes. Oh, you absolutely should. I have a very good friend of mine, Teddy Ramirez. You might recognize his name from, he's my music composer for this channel. Like the big videos. Actually, we just posted one for the Iron Oak with 30 minutes of his beautiful music. Well, he's also, you can look him up as Bury Me in Pizza. Terrific guy. He's a crack-up. But he is equally as passionate about music as he is pizza. And he has this awesome, sorry, my nose itches all of a sudden. But he has this awesome catering business where he does really awesome fire brick pizza. Oh, and he's got one. I should make him one. Teddy, if you're watching this, scratch that from the record because I'm going to try and surprise you with it. But I think that'd be a cool gift to give him. Because it's like that's the way to cut pizza. That one was awesome. Troy, you liked it. That makes me so happy. I'm so glad you enjoyed that because, so much of YouTube is about like bombast and like colors and whoo, look over here. And then like constant sound and excitement and joy. Yeah. I want to be able to give you guys an atmosphere, a place to go that's a little chill, full of art and inspiration and meaning, but also of calm. We're so flooded with news and this happened and whatever. We're so flooded with information nowadays. You don't really need to add more excitement to life anymore. It's about like, how do I make things a little less exciting? And how do I chill things out? How do I cool this down a little bit? And I hope I can offer that a little bit for you guys with some like good environment, maybe some good inspiration. Who knows? But I've been finding a lot of meaning in that, in just trying to, de-escalate everybody just a little bit because my goodness, it's very easy to just be wound up all the time. Calm enthusiasm, yeah. Exactly the way you watch my videos. Oh, calm enthusiasm. What a fun way to say it. I'm going to write that down. because my goldfish brain will remember it for 2 seconds and then I'll forget about it. Calm enthusiasm. I like that. So that's very well put. Thank you. And we got Copper Dog over here. Copper, come here, say hi. Say hi to the nice people. You want to come hang out? Come here, buddy. Oh, he is such a good boy. Here, let's scoot that out of the way. There he is. There's Mr. Dog. Too much in a video is overwhelming. Yes, it is overwhelming. You know, your entertainment shouldn't cause you stress. Copper, hang out with me. He wants to go digging around. I know, Mr. Copper Dog. He is such a good boy. Come hang out with us. Don't leave. Don't leave just yet. Isn't he cute? He's just such a handsome little gentleman. What do you see? Cop top. He's a good boy. Yeah, he hurt his back and he's been on like bed rest. So I've been like trying to keep him from running around and jumping around on stuff. And it's hard to do. Hard to do. Troy, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. Circle of concern versus circle of influence. Oh, speaking of well put, I got to read that again. If I can charge it, Trug, yeah. Minor terminate gives me dangerous ideas. Yeah, 100%. Inspiration can both be exciting and a little dangerous. Ray, is Copper Dog gonna, oh my gosh, I have no plans for Gorge. I don't know if I could take him on a plane with me. I don't know how any of that works. I don't fly. I don't go anywhere. Do I look like a traveler to you? I can't wait one day, you know? But man, I can't wait to go. I've never been anywhere like that. Never been on the East Coast. It's gonna be a brief trip, but I'm gonna try and see as much as I possibly can, hang out with you guys as much as I possibly can. New York. It's gonna be upstate, right? Up in like Watertown, way up there. But you won't be in the city, but if I can maybe make like a day trip down, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. Joe, how about a small wood burner? Let's see. Forge on wheels. Oh, you bet. Well, and this is the thing. Okay, so I shouldn't talk about this. I don't want to get you guys too excited, so take this with a grain of salt. But, Ray, you remember Beery's hammer that he forged? You know, like the clockwork one that extends through centrifugal motion and then like recoils back in so that you can get the momentum going without being choked so far down the handle? I'm toying with the idea of actually building it. Actually building it and then bringing it to the con. I don't know how the logistics of shipping it out there. What if it gets lost in the mail? How tragic would that be? But I'd be able to like film the entire thing. Don't fall in love with the idea. It probably won't happen. But just saying there is a chance. So we're saying there's a chance. I think it'd be a lot of fun because I designed it so that it could be built. But here's the thing. Actually, there's so much talent here. This would be a fun conversation. Like the biggest thing for me is not cutting the rack and the gearworks and the spur gears. It's not building the anvil hammerhead. That's all pretty easy. It's all gonna be pretty much plate. It's actually the darn coil spring. A nice long coil spring. Pretty much how like let me grab like a visual aid. Let me see. Yeah, here. So like inside of a tape measure, there's a coil spring. And it's a great way to create tension over a very long distance, as opposed to like a spring that's really just like, shoot, right? Hey, good afternoon. Oh gosh, it's so good to see. Was that looks like a what's that called? Anyways, welcome. But yeah, we were talking about Beery's hammer and like finding a nice coil spring that would give me a very long distance of of pressure, of energy, of charge, but needs to be strong enough to be able to move all of that. So that's actually given me pause. Hey, from South Africa, thanks for joining us. It's late. I'll try to keep the energy down so I don't keep you up too late. You know what I mean? And like, is there a coil spring that's already heat tempered and all that good stuff? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's a. Can you guys think of like a coil spring, like a nice long coil spring that I could wind up to pretty much create the perfect amount of tension? How much energy do you need in the spring? I think you like across a lateral distance, and I could make it easier or harder with like a gear reduction or overdrive through the gearworks that I'll be cutting. But I would say I'd have to be able to like pull. It would probably have to pull like 30 pounds. Every bit of 30 pounds. This is the first live stream of yours I've dipped into. Hey, I'm so happy to have you here. This is something we do every week. We do a little Sunday chat over a cup of tea, a little tea time, where I'm able to connect with my audience. I'm able to connect with you guys, share ideas, maybe new directions for the channel. I love to have my finger on the pulse of my community. Rolling door spring, I was kind of thinking maybe like a roll-up door, but they're pretty long. I was thinking of something that's like almost like a large scale of what's inside of a tape measure. You know what I mean? Pretty much just a piece of flat. I mean, I might just have to get my hands on like some really thin spring steel, coil it up, and then heat treat it. I don't know. First thing I thought of was a garage door spring. Yes. I don't know. Think about it. Think about it. And if you think of something later on, maybe message me in the Discord. Not message me directly, but maybe in like the shop talks section. And if you didn't know, we have a really fun Discord where it's just this awesome community of just wildly creative, wonderful people from all around the world. You'll have enough trial and error. Yes, Matt. Absolutely. And the entire hammer's built around that spring, so it's not something that I can like add on later. But another thought is totally forego the coil spring and just let like the manipulation of the hammer do its thing. Here, let me grab a two-handed hammer so I can illustrate. Okay. So, so the principles of the matter. Lifting a hammer here is way easier than way down here, way slower, right? And because when you're wielding a hammer, you're constantly adjusting where your hands are, to make things happen and move, right? Well, it'd be cool for the hammer to automatically do that. That's why I designed it for Mr. Beery, for the Unpredicted Party. And, these gearworks would automatically adjust with what's going on through centrifugal energy, okay? Now, I could just do it by the angle of the handle. This thing just kind of, slops back and forth. And then when it's extended, I could have it towards like on a trigger on the handle. So it's like clunk, and then it brings it back. And I could just use like gravity, like get enough to where I can tip it up and then it comes back to your hands. Then you can kind of get it moving again. I don't know. Dang it, burnt your steel. Sparklers and all. But that's how we learn. That's good. How about a sliding internal mechanism? Like a free-floating piston. Ooh, yeah. Exactly. Yes. So it works on a gear rack sort of a situation. The handle would have the rack inlaid on the side of it. Exactly. So yeah, to be able to slide. I think it'd just be a really cool piece. It'd be a really cool piece. And who knows what I'll do with it? I don't know. But it'll be 2 parts. And I could like ship it to the con and then ship it back to myself. I don't know. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. The logistics is just, wow. No idea. I guess I could start just with the hammer on the slide with the gears and then maybe try to retrofit it later on with a spring. It'll be like the Mark 1 versus Mark 2 kind of a thing. I don't know. Do you guys do this where you put so much pressure on a creation that you'll never build it because you don't want to do any trial and error? You want to have the design completely fleshed out before you ever touch it. I'm terribly guilty of that. I need to let myself experiment more often. I'm not great with engineering, moving parts. I tend to, straightforward knives. Hey, I totally understand. Like there's so much value into just being like leaning into what you're good at. Absolutely. Oh, 3D print. Yeah, I'm so archaic. I draw everything by hand. I create everything by hand. I've never gotten into any 3D modeling. James is in here and he offered. So who knows? James, if you're able to make moving parts, might be helpful, a little collaboration. Not knowing how it would turn out is the exciting part. Oh, Catherine, maybe for you, but I don't know. I'm a planner. I like to plan things out. I like to have a perfectly clear image of it before I ever even touch a piece of steel. But maybe that's my control freak talking. I don't know. I have to know all the info first. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Have you thought about maybe a piston like the one? Ooh, like an air piston. That's interesting. We might be taking this chair apart. Yeah, because the pressure of the hammer would compress it, and then you could pretty much hit the toggle that would shoot it back into the handle. Wait a minute. This changes everything. Does this thing still work? Is it? It takes what? Every bit of 100 pounds to compress these things? I don't know if it even works anymore. Oh, there we go. Now, we're only talking maybe like 8 inches of travel. That's not terribly much. I'm thinking more. Could have them in line. You know what I mean? That's an amazing idea. It's really getting the wheels turning, you know what I mean? That's interesting, using air. Air and then a release. Not bad. That's because I usually think of things mechanically, like through springs and gear works and length of travel, all that stuff. Not pneumatically. I may have to look into that. CO2 cartridges, that would be badass. Have big air canisters. You have like a. Oh man, we can make some cool stuff. This is one of the reasons I would love to be like, I don't know, for instance, could you imagine one of the things I'm really looking forward to is Amazon's new Fallout show. Could you imagine a Warhammer that works and remember it had the rocket out the back of it, to build that in real life, where it has pneumatic pistons and pressure tanks and crazy wacky stuff, but barbaric implementation. I would kill to be able to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? The opportunity to just be completely imaginative and to be completely off the wall. One day, I'm gonna get in the opportunity to do some really fun stuff like that and be able to really think outside the box. Ooh, fun, very fun. Ooh, and speaking of thinking outside the box, this week has been quite busy with a lot of meetings. And because I'm kind of just building up, as you guys know, the Valhalla doors, they're getting pushed out. They're getting pushed off, and I don't know when I'll be returning to them. Hopefully as soon as possible. Steampunk stuff, yes, yes, absolutely. Now, so now like we're scrambling to fill up 2024 with commissions, and because I have to do commissions, that's my only way I can make money, and I got a lot of bills. Stressful. Anyways, but got some really cool possible commissions coming up. Well, okay, like keep this in your head. Don't tell anybody. But we're talking like a henge that illustrates not the Valhalla. I know, I love them too. But the client is currently not willing to go forward on their end because just a lot of different factors. They're just a little overwhelmed right now, and it's just timing is just not right now, and that's okay. It happens. That's why I can't wait to get away from commissions and then just be able to build cool stuff for you guys. You know what I mean? And just let giant corporate conglomerate marketing money pay for it. So no one has to pay for it. I'd love that one day. Do some Robin Hood action from major corporations. I love it. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, a possible mountaintop henge for a resort. Could you imagine a henge that that illustrates the solstices and the equinox, where you can stand in one position and you get to see through giant spires of monolithic steel, you know, where like the sun will pierce through a tiny little sliver between two giant pieces of steel like that, you know, and then line up in a circle in the center. Like, I would love to build something that feels monumental. Also, speaking of monumental, a giant ceiling orrery. Have you ever heard of an orrery? It's pretty much, speaking of mechanics, a giant, pretty much planetarium that would be a ceiling piece. That would be lighting and cut mechanisms. It'd be the coolest thing ever. That's maybe on the table as well. Some other cool like little sculptures, some doorways like in Montana. Amazing. Super excited for these opportunities. Very grateful. But yeah, got some really cool stuff coming down the road for you guys. You know, because I want to give you, I don't know. I think my greatest passion in life is to reawaken that childlike wonder. You know, just watching people experience something they weren't prepared for in a really good way. It's the greatest thing in the world. The greatest thing for me to see is watching someone kind of be awestruck by a sense of wonder. You know, reawaken that belief in magic a little bit. You know, it's just the best. Before you get me, let's change the subject before I get too sentimental. Ooh, steampunk version of Valhalla doors. Yeah, honestly, woven. There's so many gearworks that are involved with the Valhalla doors. They're actually they're very steampunk. You know, there's going to be like a 20 by 20 foot wall of 5 foot diameter gears that'll just be in mesh, moving, unlocking, opening, and vice versa. These stinking doors. It'd be the craziest thing. So, still open to be able to build the entirety of them one day. One day, baby. You can hold me to that. We'll get there. Because people don't get to see gears moving anymore, you know? Dave, yes. Being present. Being present in the moment is just the best. Yes, woven. Exactly. Ooh, how's the garden planning? Not much. I need to start getting ready for this year's garden. I had some older potatoes, almost planted a couple beds of potatoes, for the winter season. But yeah, it's gonna happen before we know it. That last freeze will happen. Then I can get some plants in the ground, get some seeds germinating. I should start the season now. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, that's awesome. 3 generations of metalworking? That's awesome. Ooh, projects that are beginner friendly. That's a good question. Like when it comes to blacksmithing? I mean, gosh, there's so many. Like, you can't go wrong with like a good set of hooks. And I know that sounds weird, but like wall hooks, something to hang your car keys from, something to, coat rack on the wall. Everything needs to be hung up. Things need a space, a place to go. And I love starting new apprentices out with hooks because there's a lot of technique that goes into making them. Like, because you could put a drift in. A drift is sending a piece of steel through another piece of steel hot, and it makes a hole, and then you could you put in a handmade nail. With a hook, you have a lot of drawing out bar and then creating a scroll, a compound scroll, if you will, one that scrolls down and then you scroll that back up. There's so much technique in just a hook, and I think that's a great beginner's project. Forging hooks. And also, if you want to dive further into that, I have an online apprenticeship program where we have a lot of lessons up there now, and every month there's a new lesson, and then we get together for theory discussions over Zoom. It's great. We get together pretty much like this, and we talk theory, and you ask whatever you want. And what's fun about it is I'm able to kind of curate the knowledge that I give to each individual. It's small enough right now to where I can still do that. But I'm renting. Yeah, I totally get it. Shelving, for sure. Brackets, you bet. Nice 45 degree angle, 90 brackets, corbels, you bet. Those are great beginning projects. Because everything needs a place, either by a hook or a shelf. Yeah. And also all of those, that's all in my link tree. If you want to learn from me, also there's amazing how-to videos here on YouTube. Go check them out. Go support other creators, and that's for free. But if you want to hear it from the horse's mouth, I'd love to see you in there. And then we get to have tea every Sunday morning. It's a good time. It's so exciting. Like it has changed and shifted my relationship with the trade that I have been obsessed with and have committed my life towards for over 20 years now. You don't really, I don't feel like you truly understand something until you try to teach it. Because you're like kind of buried in it. You're not looking at it with complete objective gaze. It's very subjective when you're in the middle of it. But when you try to teach it to somebody, you develop a completely different understanding of the subject matter. It's pretty cool. I highly suggest it. Murray keeps me from being able to do much. Paul, I totally understand. Totally understand. Gosh, like I went from from little one-car garages for most of my life. And then I finally worked my way up to this little shop. And then one day to the big shop we're going to build one day. Be patient with yourself and just have faith that you're going to get there. If you just keep plugging away, you'll get there. And honestly, let me just say this. An old school blacksmith, if you're not making giant works, you don't need much space. If you're doing like knives, if you're doing cool smaller projects that you can sell at art shows and different like even have a table at a swap meet, whatever. You literally only need maybe a 10 by 10 area. You could do it outside under an easy up. It does not take much space. I like to really pull back the veil, the illusion of what goes into being a blacksmith. It takes just a hammer to swing against a nice hard surface, maybe a bench vise, and that's just about all you need. It's crazy how simple it really can be. Because you got to think, there was once a time where people were banging on iron with rocks on top of a rock. The first hammers were made with rocks. I want to really disillusion how much you need to get into it. Plus, I'm a firm believer in not over-investing, in your first, even just couple years. Make everything cheap. Go on the cheap. Cheap tools. Make sure you like it. I started out with 8x6 shack. Bingo. Then a 12x12. Then a 20x20. There it is. Boom. Perfect. Perfectly illustrates what we're talking about. You just need enough space to go from a forge to an anvil. That's it. Oh, this is terrific. God, I love having the opportunity to be able to hang out with all of you. Reading the live chat, being like present with you all is a lot of fun. Because of course I get to read all your beautiful comments and, but it's different. This is very interactual. It's very in the moment. It's a lot of fun. I feel very blessed to have you a part of my community, and I'm just grateful you're here. I have the one rule. The only money that goes into the shop is money that comes out of the shop. Oh, nice. Very nice. There's definitely moments when you start getting good, you start getting a clientele, you're starting to get work coming in. It's so valuable to invest into a good tool that's going to revolutionize your work. I'm definitely a proponent for that. But when you're just starting out, think about it as tuition, right? Think about it as like, oh, I'm going to go to this 4-year college to get into a position I've never been in yet. And I don't even know if I like it. It's very similar to that. What's this now? My workspace is about 20 or 10. Making books? Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Workshop can do a lot. Yes, absolutely. Since your favorite shape is circles, oh, you know that. You think you can make me a custom weights for a gym? Oh, man. Custom weights would be rad. Of course. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be out of like some thick steel, so it'd be kind of expensive, but sure, why not, Custom weights would be cool. Or like, maybe not like weights that like you're used to seeing that would like rack onto a bar, but just like different things that like you just put your hand inside that, I don't know, like I'm friends with Tank Tolman. Him and I, we're pretty close. We played the Unpredicted Party together. And I love what he did with like tools you can find in a hardware store that you can work out with. And it's kind of fantasy at the same time. We could do stuff like that. Like how cool would it be to like, do shrugs but with a shield, right? Like something really heavy. Like I love that too, that there's like 20-pound like coffee mugs out there. So you're just sitting there like, yeah, as you get your caffeine fix, I love that. It's ingenious. Oh, just creative thinking in general should be appreciated. It needs to be appreciated. I feel like we're in a time right now where it's starting to be appreciated. People are getting kind of bored with normalcy because it is very boring. And I'm glad that people are being rewarded for thinking outside the box. Oh, epoxy molding's loaded with scrap metal? That'd be rad. Yeah, you just look inside and it's just floating giant chunks of steel. Balancing would be an issue, but that would be really cool. Barbells, oh, Cameron, that's a fun idea. Yeah. I don't know, I just love the idea of like fitness and fantasy coming together. That's really cool. Like I don't really have to go to the gym because like my work is pretty much my gym, and I feel very grateful for that. Not everyone gets to do that, So maybe I do need to think of a fun and creative like workout equipment that also makes you feel like you're defending the gates of Gondor. You know what I mean? Just a thought. I don't know. Well, let me think on it. Hey, maybe below, put down some suggestions in the comments. Like not in the live chat, but in the comments of this video. Let's see what happens. Well, we got a lot to think about, my friends. And you know what? I want to let you get back to your beautiful Sunday. However much daylight or how much, how many hours or minutes you have left of your day, I want you to enjoy the heck out of it and maybe be a little bit mindful before the week happens, before you know it. It's coming. But yeah, like I said, Sunday's really fun to be introspective, and just rest up before the beginning of the next week. But man, until tomorrow, never forget, yeah, James, love you too, buddy. Love all of you. And don't forget to love each other, darn it. We're all just a big old family here. But yeah, do something kind for somebody today. And I'll see you tomorrow for our good morning, Monday morning check-ins. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Let me get, oh, there we go. Yeah.